Every scroll and click generates a stream of behavioral data. Centralized platforms harvest this output to optimize their advertising engines, turning your personal time into a mined commodity. Early social networks focused on showing you what your friends posted. Today, chronological feeds are gone, replaced by opaque algorithms engineered to maximize your time on screen. They prioritize outrage and addiction to keep you scrolling. Because these networks live on centralized servers, the companies that own them hold absolute authority. A single corporate mandate can rewrite the rules of discourse, silence a creator, or erase an audience of millions without warning. This centralization also creates a significant geopolitical vulnerability. When a government decides to restrict access, a single court order can instantly sever millions of citizens from their digital communities. This architecture defines Web 2, the read-write version of the internet dominated by centralized platforms. By design, it requires you to surrender ownership of your digital identity, leaving your entire network at the mercy of corporate and political interests. But that structural vulnerability is starting to crack. Over the last 2 years, millions of users have actively abandoned legacy platforms, searching for networks where their data is not held hostage. This migration is fueling the rise of SocialFi, a blend of social networking and decentralized finance. Instead of relying on a corporation's private servers, SocialFi uses public blockchains to store and secure your data. By moving the underlying data structure from private servers to public ledgers, the physical control of the network shifts. The platform no longer owns your profile, you do. In decentralized social, or DSOC, you don't sign up for an account. You mint your digital profile as an asset on a blockchain. It belongs to you in the same way a physical wallet belongs to you. This is made possible by a specific protocol known as ERC-6551. ERC-6551 is an Ethereum standard that gives standard non-fungible tokens, or NFTs, their own smart contract capabilities. This vault functions as a live smart wallet, capable of receiving and securing cryptocurrency, digital art, and community memberships directly. Because this single asset can sign transactions and store data, it functions as an independent on-chain identity that follows you across the internet. Every time you follow someone, that relationship is recorded directly onto the blockchain. Your entire social graph attaches to your vault, not an app's private database. Legacy networks operate exactly as walled gardens. If you spend 5 years building a massive audience on one app, you cannot take those followers with you to a competitor. The platform owns the relationships. With decentralized social, your connections are portable. If an app changes its algorithm or tries to restrict your reach, you simply disconnect your wallet and plug it into a different interface. Your audience comes with you automatically. Because the application interface is separated from the underlying data layer, locking users in or quietly suppressing their content becomes a technological impossibility. The earliest versions of this technology struggle to find their footing. The first wave of SocialFi apps relied on empty token speculation, incentivizing users to trade their social influence for quick profits rather than build sustainable communities. This hyper-financialized model was criticized as corpo-slop, a term describing platforms that prioritize financial engineering and token hype over actual social utility. When the speculation dried up, the networks collapsed. The entire sector required an ideological reset. Leading figures like Ethereum co-founder Vitalik Buterin publicly rejected the speculative models, calling for developers to focus strictly on open communication protocols and user sovereignty. The burst of that initial hype bubble washed out the speculators. It forced the remaining engineers to focus on the infrastructure required to solve human coordination problems without relying on token price appreciation. To rebuild trust, developers shifted their focus toward proof of humanity. This system is designed to verify that a user is a real, unique person, replacing the old focus on how much money a wallet holds. By aggregating your history across platforms, like whether you hold a specific domain name or have passed a biometric check, these protocols create a portable trust score. Decentralized networks use this reputation layer to filter out massive bot swarms and spam. They do this mathematically, without needing to extract, store, or sell your personal information. By solving the problems of identity and trust at the base layer of the internet, These protocols clear the way for authentic, human-to-human connection that does not need to be micromanaged by an algorithm. For decades, social media profited by capturing attention and selling it to advertisers. Web3 networks replace that decaying, centralized model with direct, peer-to-peer economies. Creators can now program smart contracts, self-executing code on the blockchain, to handle subscriptions, tips, and access passes. The revenue flows directly from the fan to the creator, bypassing middleman fees. Every post and verified connection compounds the reputation of your unique profile, a digital asset that remains under your absolute control. By removing the corporate intermediaries, this architecture finally returns absolute data sovereignty and economic control back to the individuals producing the value. The infrastructure for a user-owned internet is fully operational today. The code works, the networks are live, and the choice to leave now rests entirely with you. The digital migration has already begun. The only question left is, will you stay or will you lead?